So the way we do that is we a layer to the map, and we're going to import from that PDF. So that PDF under Atkins Island Marsh. Okay. So we'll navigate to that place, pick the PDF. I happen to know it's page 14, so that's what it does. Is it reads in the PDF and then asks you which page you want to import. And typically do these at 300 to 400 dots per inch DPI and just leave it RGB. And so what that does is it just brings in that page. Now, the thing is that page is over at 00 or in page units somewhere, right? And we're in, a geographic coordinate reference system. So what we do is we go over here into the imagery ribbon at the top, and then we go into the georeference tool, and georeference tool is up. And what we do is we zoom to where we know it's supposed to be about, and then we do fit to display. So that'll just drop it in there as best as it can. It doesn't rotate it or anything, right? You see north is still over here. So what we'll do from here is a couple of little things we can do, our own rotation. And then what we have to do is find common points now. And since we have these other bores, we have those common points. So let me go label those. Geotechnical bores are usually here, and they're labeling. It's disabled, so we're going to enable it. Should come on. Spinning, spinning, spinning. Oh, it doesn't have a name. It defaults to use the name field. We want sample ID. Okay, so we're at AM19, AM20 here. And what we try to do is we have two AM20s. We pick common ones at the extremes, right? We do one at one corner, one at another corner, and then line them up. So let's see, where is I think some of these are missing, and this one's duplicated. But I'm going to say AM19 and 20 are these two here. Not that one over there. And then 23. So what we'll first do is what you do is when you're georeferencing back here, and you add control points. And so you say from and to. So we're going to find the from, which is going to be on the raster here. So this is the center point about of AM19. So we're going to pick that there, and then it drags over. We'll hold down the letter C and pan a little bit over to this location. And you see how it puts that little circle on it? It's snapping to that point. So it's going to hit it exactly. So left click again, and then you'll see it reference that point. So now it's pulled the background imagery to be on top of the background page to be on top of that point. And so we need to do that 3 more times to get a really good reference. So we got AM22 over here, and that looks like AM. There is AM22. Okay. So it's a little different scale than what we're expecting. So we're going to go from this point here to this point here. So I like to zoom in on them, let it refresh, and generate a good point. You should be able to pick it right in there between those two lines, just kind of there. And zoom out and pan down to AM22, and it just snaps. So the second one gets it really, really close, and that takes care of rotation and scale. And now we're going to take care of skew. So we need 2 more points here. Is that one not labeled? It seems like it's 23. Oh, yeah, it is. Okay, so there's the label. All right, so it's really close. So we'll just say that one, and then go get this one here. We did that one. Let's just skip this one. It is AM21, yeah. Click. Okay, now that we've got 4 points, I'll show you what this is this is the XY of the image, the source, and then the map XY. So they're different, coordinates paired up, and then this shows the RMS error between each one. So this one is the greatest off. It usually makes sense that the first one is the worst one, just the way it calculates. Sometimes that third one, which looked pretty spot on, has the largest error. So I'm not going to worry about it because it's pretty, it's a page unit, page size map, pretty thick lines, engineering quality location, and we're collecting points that don't have any other reference. So I'm not going to sweat the geographic coordinate axis. So once we've done that, we've georeferenced it. I like to export out the points that show, the page and what it's referenced to. And I'll put those under and this was just page 14. This is all intermediate data. We don't really need to save it all that much. And the other thing is that we'll generate this report, which is really similar to to what I just did when I exported out those points. This is just a more HTML report. I'll show you what it looks like. Or maybe I don't want to open Explorer. Okay, and then because what we brought in was actually a PDF, it won't, it's trying to open it. It won't save that. It's still trying to open the report. This layer that we brought in here won't stay. The next time it's a temporary intermediate item, so it'll disappear the next time we open the project. So what we're going to do is save as new. Again, this is just intermediate. I keep them as a TIFF file, and I'll put it under backup, and then I'll export it out or make it a TIFF and change the compression type to LZW and export. So that'll add it to the contents here, and then we can get rid of this one. So if we I'm going to close georeferencing. Yes. And then I'm going to remove this reference. And so that image stays there. So so that's georeferencing. So that map is now georeferenced, and we can come back to it and capture points off of it. And that was the original idea, that we want to capture these 93 prefixed. Looks like there's 5 or 6 of them here, maybe more. So, and we're just going to add those directly into the geotechnical bores feature class. So what we do there is we go into edit. We enable editing, this button, and then we create features, and we're going to create geotechnical bores. We're just going to pick this first one. These are other methods of adding points, but we're just going to take this first one. And then we're going to place one right there. And then we're going to capture the attribute of the sample ID 93-153. And we'll go back and calculate the lat long when we're done. We don't know what the sample type is. And the reference that we have, let's see, does it have source in here? Yeah, source. Source is going to be page 14 of that document. So that document is searching for you. Yeah. So we're just going to capture and then that's going to go in the source field right here. Control B. Okay. I'm not going to worry about those. And then when we're done, we'll go back and calculate the lat long. Okay. And so now we just go through and start placing them. Move up a little bit. That's 93-154. And the source. Paste that in there. And so I keep that in my clipboard. Put one here. Any questions about this?
I mean, I'm not completely clear on adding the photo to the actual document.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll walk through that again. So,
Like making it a part of,
say that again.
like making the photo a part of the actual,
Map.
like,
Making it a layer in the map.
yeah, making it a layer.
Okay. We'll walk through that again here. So let me capture one more. Once you're on the roll, it's hard to stop. And then you got to go back. So 158. Okay. That's all saved. And so we'll kind of start over here. Let's go back. We'll take this layer out. So now it's not part of the map anymore, right? I can remove the image and so we were just looking at this going, oh, it should be nice to put that in my map and be able to capture these points because this is the only place it is, right? We didn't have a nice table of points to geocode in here. We had to the only way to capture this is if we have find some common points, which we do with the AMs, and then we just need to go in and capture these other ones. So what I do at first is I get the page number that I want to use to import in, because the way we add these into the map is you just do map, add data, you find the PDF file that you want to use, and then it brings up this PDF options dialog. We choose page 14, and then the resolution is the dots per inch. Typically 400 is the value. So now this map is it's over by the equator somewhere, right? It's not in spatial coordinates, it's in page unit coordinates. So what we have to do is we go into the imagery ribbon, and we go into the georeferencing tool, and then we do this, we kind of zoom in on where we think it should go. Let me turn off we zoom in where we think it should go, and then we do fit to display. And it just drops it in on the screen, right? It's basically on the screen. It's in kind of a map coordinate system, but it's really just fitted that page onto the where we're zoomed into. Could have done it anywhere. But in order to get it lined up a little better and to see things matched up, you can tell that this one is north is not straight up. So what we'll do is we'll rotate this around by clicking and dragging. Left click and drag. And I can tell that, you know, this line here should be about this line here. So we can, so once we've rotated it, we can move it a little bit to get a little better alignment. Looks like the scale is off. So we can scale it a little bit too, just by dragging these and getting it a little closer. So this is one method of georeferencing, and like in Google Earth, this is basically all you get is scale and rotate and transform. But what we can do in ArcGIS is we can find common points. So we're going to add control points. So, and you notice what it did here. When we flip between these scale and move, it changes the transparency of the layer. So these are by default behaviors, but when we go over here to add control point, it just flips back to being opaque. We can adjust that if we need to, but I don't think we need to on this one, because what we're going to do is we're going to find common points between these known locations and what we see here on the map. So we can see this is AM20 on the page, and this is AM20 in the map. So we do a from and to. So this is the first control point that we add. So left click, we get a marker, and then we snap to what we say it is in real world coordinates. And then we go find 3 more like that.
Okay.
Now we have more, right? Because we captured a few here. So we could use, and you can see how the scale's off because this one is here and there. So we'll see it scale up a bit when we pick that one. Yeah, now it's starting to line up and getting the right scale and everything. So 2 more. The last 2 they're pretty spot on. So we're just doing this. And then we look at the control table to find out what the error is. And that's what this residual column is. These are much lower than what we had done before. And then you need to save this out as new. You need to export the control points, and you need to generate a report. And that's how we finish up georeferencing.
Okay.
Okay? But we had done those already. So I'm going to close out, and it's going to say, do you want to save this? And I'm going to say no. Proceeding, we'll discard yes. So it's just it's going to go back to the page units, but we don't need it anymore. So that's going to go away. And because we had saved it as page 14 somewhere, I thought it was under here. Sometimes things are where they're supposed to be, but they don't show up because you have to refresh the folder name. It's very aggravating. Yeah, so page 14 TIFF. So we can just drag that back into the map, and then it throws it in there. And now we're just kind of in QC mode to see if there are markers here on the page that are not in the map, right? So all these 4 or 5 here, and I'll leave those to you to capture. All right.
Okay.
So I'm in project 1, and I'm on this Atkinson Island PA14 map. So if I just save this and I exit out, you should be able to open up project 1, save as your project, and we can operate without conflicting with each other.